You want the best for your car? You already watch our tutorials.
So the best place for the best deal is to buy from the Mr. Auto app.
You will find the bulk control arms used in the video exclusively on the Mr. Auto website and through the link in the description. Turn your engine off and pull up the handbrake. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels. You must remove the wheels in order to change the control arms on your vehicle. This will give you full access to the suspension system. Lift the front of the vehicle. Place the vehicle on the axle stands. We strongly suggest watching our tutorial, raising your Megane 4 safely, before carrying out this step. Don't forget to slide the wheels under the vehicle. Start by brushing the ball joint retaining nut of the control arm, then spray it with degreaser. Then, using a ratchet, a 16mm socket, and a 116mm spanner, loosen the retaining screw of the control arm ball joint. During this operation, you will be working on the front axle of your car, so it is advisable to perform a parallelism afterwards. Then remove the screw. You can use a pin punch and a hammer to remove it. On this vehicle, it is difficult to extract the control arm ball joint from the steering knuckle. Install a metal clamping clip on the suspension arm. Next, insert a crowbar resting on rubber buffers in order to pry and disengage the suspension ball joint from the steering knuckle. You can use the hammer to create vibrations that will facilitate removal. Remove the clip. Brush the screw holding the rear silent block on the control arm and spray it with penetrating oil. Using a 21mm offset wrench, a socket wrench, and a 30mm socket, unscrew the rear holding screw on the control arm. Now remove it. To access the front silent block retaining screw on the control arms, you'll need to move the drive shaft aside. To do this, pull on the hub to move aside the drive shaft tie rod axle joint assembly. Using a breaker bar, a 30mm socket, and an 18mm offset wrench, release the last control arm retaining screw. Finish unscrewing using a socket wrench. Then remove the screw. You can use a pin punch and a hammer to remove it. You can now remove the control arms by prying it off with a large screwdriver or crowbar.
Okay, guys, if we can share this video with you and help you save a lot of money, is also thanks to our partner, Mr. Auto. So, if you want to support us and buy the part for this operation, visit their website. Okay, back to work.
Brush and lubricate the location of the control arm to facilitate its reinstallation. You will find the bulk parts and products used in the video on the Mr. Auto site and in the link in the description. Take the new control arm. Remove the protection on the ball joint. Put the new control arm in place. Start by inserting the back part and sliding it into its housing. Put the rear silent block screw back in place and roughly screw it back on. Then put the front part of the control arm back in place. Do the same with the front silent block screw. Finalize the tightening of the screws with the torque wrench. Install a metal clamping clip on the suspension arm. Next, insert a crowbar resting on rubber buffers in order to pry it and put the suspension ball joint back into the stub axle. Replace the control arm ball joint in a steering knuckle. You can use a small mallet to do this. Use a jack to help install the ball joint. Put the screw for the suspension ball joint in place. You can use a hammer to help you. Screw the nut back on. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. You can now repeat the operation on the other side. Then you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle, put your car back on the ground, and block the wheels securely. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. During this operation, you will be working on the front axle of your car, so it is advisable to perform a parallelism afterwards. Operation completed.
Hi, it's Theo from UseTool. I hope this video has helped you a lot in your car maintenance. We would be super grateful if you could spread the word so that we can produce even more tutorials. Simply give us a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us boost the channel and help the whole community. Thanks a lot and have a great one.